History Nebraska awarded Heritage Hero Pins to board members at the grand reopening of the GAR Hall Civil War Veterans Museum in Nebraska City, noting the weighty task of transforming the visitor experience.
In that it fundamentally said this institution was transformed from a big collector of things and showing off those collections to being a storyteller, to using these properties to tell a story, to help people understand something they didn't understand before, think about something they hadn't thought about before, to perhaps see the world a little differently than they did before they walked in the front door.
Dean SHISSLER, museum coordinator for the Nebraska City Museum Association, said it took 18 months and hundreds of hours to inventory thousands of artifacts and decide how to tell a story in 28 new exhibit panels.
Oh, they were engaged. I mean, one of the things that we did is dole out, assignments basically to each individual person and say like, okay, well, you want this topic, you want this topic, you want this topic, and you're adamant about it in this meeting. We're going to have another meeting in a month. Go and find us resources and references and do research and come back with like a page or two that, fights for your topics.
Discussions on the causes of the war included decisions on whether the museum would take an institutional stance.
It's a board decision, institutional opinion to say the causes of the Civil War the cause was slavery. That is hands down. There's no other wording. There's nothing in there. That's the institutional stance. And I think that was, I wouldn't say, controversial, but it was a long discussion.
The board also stressed the importance of presenting regional artifacts.
We also cover the 1st Nebraska, which was a cavalry unit and an infantry unit. We cover the history of this GAR post. We cover, the home front, but we focus on the home front here in Nebraska.
SCHROEDER said the museum's storyline has value to people living in modern society.
I think the most important thing that someone could take away from here in just coming through and having an open mind and learning things is the origins of the issues of today. Because those origins weren't in 1860. In 1861, at the beginning of the Civil War, they went back 400 years. They go back to 1619, I believe, 1620. But everything kind of came to a head in 1860, 1861.
For decades, the exhibits were well marked and kept behind glass display cases. Now, visitors enter with a video starting with a pre-war story and exhibits leading to the post-war soldiers of both the Union and Confederacy.
Where do we now go from here? That's the hope, I guess, is the understanding that people gain from coming through here, because we do tell stories from both sides. But it's because this is a museum dedicated to the veterans of both sides.
From Nebraska City, I'm Dan Swanson, News Channel, Nebraska.